Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining. I'm so excited that you're here. We've got a treat. We have a guest speaker, and I know Kinsey talked about it a little bit, but Kristine, I'm going to give you a little bit of her background. I met her at Leadership, and it was so fun. We actually got to hang out at one of the parties and hang out with her and her husband, and I got to get to know them. Kinsey already knew them, but it was just so fun. And that's one thing I love about Leadership is just connecting with other coaches and hearing what they're doing and just feeding off each other's energy. So a little bit about her. She's from Frisco, Texas. She has been with her husband, Lincoln, for almost 28 years. And then they have Lincoln, their 15-year-old son. She has been around in the business since 2012. So she's an example of sticking with the business, going with the changes. I'm sure since then she's seen so many things come and go, from DVDs and products and everything. So she is a prime example of sticking around. She has hit Success Club 124 months consecutively. So she's doing the things, she's killing it. And she is a 6-time elite coach. So she is going to talk to us tonight about being in Shaun T's new superblock test group. And then at the end, if you are okay with it, I may just have it opened up for some questions. Okay, so she's got all the things. I'm just so excited to hear about the superblock. We're also new to superblock, and if we know anything about Shaun T, is he's amazing and he's going to bring the fire. So please just feel free to take over and share whatever and all the things you can.
Thank you for that. I'm going to tell you guys, I'm going to be fully honest throughout this entire call. And one thing, when Kinsey messaged me to ask me to speak, I was like, I haven't been asked to do that in such a long time. Like, I'm flattered. So thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys having me. I know Stephanie. Hello, how are you? I actually had Stephanie speak on a call for me because I saw her when she hit 1 star and we're a similar age. And I was just like, she's rocking it. Okay. I think it's important really quick to share, and I'll try to keep my story super short, but why I came with Beachbody or Body. Oh my gosh, with Body. So, and I actually did a post about this last week and realized I hadn't shared my story in a really long time. And you guys, you need to share your story constantly, because there's different people with different eyes, or maybe that person that needed to see it for the 10th time is finally going to realize, okay, this can help me. So I had always suffered from really bad anxiety and depression. I'm 50, so there were a lot of years I dealt with that, like my entire adult life. And it just got to a point that it was so bad. I was self-medicating and I was just like kind of a shell of myself. I wasn't being a good wife and mom. I was basically just kind of in the house. Like, I was going through motions and just in this fog. And my husband, Lincoln, I woke up one morning, he left me a note and he told me to leave. He's like, I need to leave, either get out, go get help. So this is a really quick version. So the darkest, just the worst moment of my life, I knew a friend that lived, ironically enough, in San Antonio. So going back is going to be awesome. But I went there and I stayed with her, and she'd gone through some stuff herself, and she knew this place where I did outpatient treatment. I was there for 5 weeks and they diagnosed me bipolar. So to back up a little bit, when I was home in my fog scrolling social media, someone had posted about a challenge group. You know, I knew of Body, you know, my upline, I knew she kind of did it or whatever, but it was about, you know, checking in, doing the workout, drinking the shake, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, whatever. So I just did it. And it was DVD. It was Les Mills pump. So I don't know, anyone probably didn't even know, but it was basically a barbell with the weights. By the grace of God, I don't remember what clothes I packed when I left. Oh, I haven't told this in a while. I packed my weights and I packed my DVs and I packed my Shakeology. That had to be God, because in the moment and in the mindset I was in. So I took them with me and I started therapy, and I went for 5 weeks straight. And then every morning before I went, I got up early. I did my workout. I drank my shake. So I tell people, I did my workout, I drank my shake, I went to therapy, did my workout, drank my shake, went to therapy. And I came out a completely different person. I still had a lot of work to do at home. You know, I had to build that trust back and just show them that, look, I have taken care of myself. But when I left, I was 40 years old and I had confidence for the first time in my entire life. Like, I was always, not only was I depressed, but I was a doormat. I was a people pleaser. I was highly anxious. I could not say no to anybody. I was also really negative and bitter. So I think that's important too, because personal development is life-changing. But I came back and I was like, you have your wife and mom back. And I ran to my upline and I'm like, I want to do what you're doing. So I'm like, you are so freaking lucky because you didn't have to ask me. I came to you. And so there it was. I signed up in August 2012. I didn't really take the bit, like I was just kind of having fun. And I always say I was riding my unicorn over my rainbow. And then it was January 2013 that I started taking it seriously because I went to my first live event. Live events are so important, guys. Yeah, I know you hear it all the time. I'm here in the Dallas area. My upline's in Indiana. She said, go. I went by myself. I did not know one person. About that time, we had really big numbers. There were probably 800 people in the room. Saw that thing about a video about going on trips. And I'm like, what is that? And I went home and figured it out. It was a Success Club trip. And that was Success Club. And I said, I don't know what that means. I don't know how you hit it, but I'm going to do it because I'm going to go on those trips. And that's exactly what I did. It was just a mindset. It's just, okay, this is what's going to happen. This is just, I don't know how or why. And that's where we are. So that's where I am today. I'm almost 10 and a half years in. I'm still around. There's been, I promise I'll get to Shanti. I just think this is super important. Because you're like, everybody's like, I don't want to know about you. I want to know about the program. I think stories are important. And every single time I hear a story, I tear up because, and I shared this last week in a post, I feel like every person that has come to Body came not necessarily broken, but there was a problem. Very few people came in with it all figured out. Very few people are like, I am fit and I am happy and I am confident and I'm a social media expert, so I'm going to become a Body partner. It was some kind of struggle that brought them in to help them work through to bring them out a better person. And so, and I realized that even talking on the Success Club trip this past week and getting to know more people. And I'm like, oh my gosh, their story. Oh my gosh. You know, we met a girl who had lost 200 pounds. 200 pounds. She was wearing the same bathing suit as my friends. So we took a picture and started chit-chatting. Like it's the magnitude of what this does is amazing, which is why I'm still here. There have been lots of ups and downs in my personal business. My kid and I were just talking about this. People do not come and flock to me. My inbox is not full. And I know it's probably a total buzzkill for some of you. Like, dang it. It has not happened yet, but 10 and a half years in, I'm still sending those messages and I'm still doing what I need to do to move my business forward. Because I tell people all the time, I'm not that girl that you see that sells 24 total solution packs because people are begging me, right? I am in their inbox. And I think one thing that you guys need to, I don't know if you listened to the National Wake Up Call yet. I love this because if I do have a superpower, it's following up. Like I will single white female you. And probably you guys are too young to know what that means. Some of you get it. I see the laughing. All right. I will single white female you until you say yes. But she said following up is the opposite of being pushy. It shows you care. So that's kind of one of the things that's kind of helped me get it to where I hit elite for those years. I hit premier last year just because I still do the work and I don't feel entitled. I don't feel, so coming to feeling that way. I mean, I've been in a couple of test groups, but I think the podcast and the body blocks, and if you guys have any questions about those, because I know it's really confusing sometimes. When I got the email to be part of the T25 podcast, I honestly, and I wrote this down before the call, I don't necessarily get imposter syndrome because I just keep my head down. And like I said, I know I'm not getting, my inbox is not flooding. I know I don't scroll. I follow, honestly, I follow Kenzie McKenna because I met them and they were super fun. You guys, I maybe follow less than 10 coaches or partners. I don't have time. And if I'm watching them, then I'm not working my business. Okay, just putting that out there. I do not need to know what color tights Joel wore doing his workout, or I don't need to know what color, where, I don't know. I'm just trying to think. I don't want to elaborate. But anyways, when I got the email to be in the podcast, I felt like I don't deserve this. Like, I think they made a mistake. And it was very hard for me to be able to even talk about it because I was like, I know there's people out there that don't think I deserve this. I know there's people out there that don't think I deserve that invite, right? I think one of the reasons I might have got it is that I was very intentional about sharing my story and my journey with T25 is that, because you had to, like, I don't know who all got the emails. You got an email to put an application in at the beginning of the year to be part of the podcast. I have no idea who got it. And again, I was like, why you didn't get it? Like, I don't know who got it. But I did share my story is that I talked about T25. I waited 90 minutes in the Vegas heat, my first summit in 2013, to do his very first T25 workout ever. It's like we're standing in Las Vegas, they're waiting to open the doors, the first ever one. Then they sold the DVDs, did the program, it was amazing. T25, 2.0, 3.0, and 4.0 have been my travel workouts for 10 years. Like, that's what I do, because when you have the room between a hall and a bed in your motel room, or if you have the hotel room, or you have the work on the balcony, you have room to T25. You don't need any equipment. So I talked about that in my story. Oh no, they're like, okay, you are a lifer. You've been doing it forever. I love the program. So there's enough about that. So if it's okay, then I'm going to talk about the blocks, or the block. Is that okay? And I'm still, because I have my notes, and I'm like, I'm not a hall monitor, but I'm like, when it comes to this stuff, because they're like, you be careful, like you're going to get in trouble. But I will say, because it's ready for purchase. Yeah, I don't want to get but.
So just a little backstory,
Yes.
Because she's in the test group, it's not launched. They kind of give, you can say this, you can share this, you
2
can't.
pages.
So that's what she means. She's going to make sure that she's complying, she's
Compliant,
sharing what she can and what she can't.
Thank you. Okay. What I can tell you, and if you see Shanti's, and I can tell you, I wasn't following Shanti, couldn't have time, but I obviously started following him now because I better pay attention. Which is amazing. Again, he has been very much, I went to his, what we call Shantervention. I don't know if you guys ever heard of that. He had one here in Dallas. We sat on the floor in a conference room. I mean, he was still kind of being known. Yeah, it's crazy. Anyways, they're starting to talk about it. Carl and Shanti did both talk about it today on their social media. So they did a little video, and he talked about T25 and he talked about B25. So is anyone familiar with B25? Do you guys have any idea what that is? Okay. When they sent the email, okay, I see a couple nods, right? You guys, I got to do 2 of the workouts. So B25 is the bike. So you get access to T25, which is the T25 that we all know. It has your cardio and it has weights. And I will tell you, I can tell you, it's 25 minutes of nonstop, just like the old program, right? And you have cardio and you have weights. I know I can talk about that. The bike is, and I don't know all the days because I only got to do a couple, but I think there's some days it's all bike and some days it's half and half. So you do get floor work. Okay. And I did see someone in the round table. I think I can share this. Like the workout, one of the workouts I did, I never read his book. I'm sorry. I can't look at the chat. I'll get distracted. Sorry, but it is like one day was all bike, and like he'll work one leg, and then he works, I've never done that before. And then he works the other leg. So like focus on your left leg, and you're like pedaling like this, right? And then you're like this. And I mean, he kicks your butt. He's Shanti fashion. He kicks your butt. And I want to tell you, doing the program, we filmed for 3 weeks. And it was super fun because you get to invite a +1, means someone like a friend, or I had my top coach do it with me. So she did, what was cool is I did T25. She got invited to B25. I just submitted the paperwork, and she's like, I'm doing this bike thing. I'm like, what, bike? So we both got to have 2 different experiences and then still kind of do it together. And then we filmed 2 days on the Success Club trip. So we were able to work out with Shanti and film with like the beach behind us. It was so fun. That was a lot of fun. Yeah. And I'm like, we're together. But it's your cardio, it is your weights. And one thing to know, it is nonstop. So just like keep that in mind, think about like when you're like, I mean, we're doing 21-day fix, which is awesome. I'm loving it. I think Autumn has just grown so much, and I think it's so cool just to do this program. But it's like, okay, stop and get your weights, right? You have like 30 seconds, you have whatever. Where T25, like, no, like I made sure my weights were lined up as close to my body as possible without like breaking my ankle, then just like grab and go. And the thing about Shanti, and the thing that I love the most, is that the music was really good, but they all bring a message, right? But I think if you connect with certain trainers, and one thing because I've known him so long. I mean, Insanity was my second program, but just watching him grow in the connection to T25, he always brings a message. And I think it's very, very powerful. And I'm like, there were days and the podcast was really fun, and he engaged with the podcast, which I really liked. I think it's great. Like, I don't know if you guys have signed up for workouts that you've done with the trainers, and like, even if they're not saying your name, if they're just paying attention to the people around you, I think that's really cool. And he was very good about that. But like, have you ever cried after a workout? Right? Like, you're just like, I'm getting emotional now. I'm like, I joked, I'm like, I don't know if it's because I'm crying because I'm in so much pain because it was so hard, or that I was so moved. And I really feel like you're gonna feel that way. I mean, like when we were done filming the last day, I mean, no one can see me, you know, so-and-so in her living room or whatever. He can't, you know, I don't know if he's paying attention to me. He's talking to the camera, but I'm just like, you know, and then even when filming's over, I was just like crying, like what an amazing experience. And I think like even I had that experience and I'm very blessed. And I said it almost every day in our group. I can't believe I'm here. I'm so humbled. I do not take this for granted. I don't take anything for granted this company has given to me, even through all like the crazy and the hard. I feel like it's a blessing. So yes, I'm grateful to have this opportunity, but I also think for all of us out there is that it is something that we can gift to other people. And we just need to make sure that we're confident in talking about that. Cause like I said, sometimes I have imposter syndrome. I'm like, am I worthy enough? Am I gonna, you know, am I gonna get anybody to sign up with me? You know, even if I was in the podcast, does that really matter? And I don't know if it does, but I just think your heart and your intentionality. And then if you can connect with the program, if you've never done it, I'm gonna tell you this too real quick. I don't know if this will be a question. There were a lot of people that hadn't ever done the program and they were really nervous. There is a modifier and they were like, they still loved the experience. Right? They still love the experience. So don't, I mean, I'm gonna tell you, you can be a little scared because it's t25, but the modifiers there were days that I'm like, okay, I'm on film, I can't modify. And it's like, screw it. You know, my body, I'm 50 years old. I mean, my body sometimes is just like, you know, you need to chill out, lady. So anyways, do you have any specific questions? That's basically it. Without getting, I mean, I can't get really specific, like I said, but I mean, it's 5 days a week, 25 minutes a day, various types of workouts. Each day is different. You have a lower focus, you have an upper focus, it's called cardio core. It's basically the same, pretty much same format as the old one. You know, you have cardio and then you have like an all body or whatever, like the whole kit and caboodle, where you kind of throw it all together on Fridays. It was an amazing experience. The program is just, it's so fun. It's so fun. So, okay, I'm gonna shut up.
I have a question. I'll kick it off and then feel free to type it in below, or after she answers mine, you guys can unmute yourself too. So 5 days a week. So I'm assuming Monday through Friday. Now you said there is weights. So is it a lot of the similar moves we've seen in the past? He's just adding weights, or are they different moves? Little both?
Yes, little of both. Because I actually answered that question today. Because it's funny, like I was saying, if you've done these workouts as many times as I have, in my head, I knew what move he was going to do next. Because like when you do speed 2.0 for 10 years, you're like, and then you're like, how he's like, use your core. Like, are you with me? You know, you can kind of picture what he's so almost, but yeah. So some of them are the same. Some of them are the same with weights. Some of them are brand new moves, like very creative, because I heard Autumn did that too, which I'm finding out by doing her workouts, that a lot of the podcasts there said these are brand new moves. So some of it you're going to know, some of it you're going to be like, wait, what? And then you're going to have to figure it out because you have like no time. But he's also really good at cueing. I want to give you that too. He kind of explains everything, and I like that as well. Even though you're moving nonstop, he's doing a very good job at cueing you. Does that answer your question?
Yes. Yes. Thank you. I'm so excited for it. Does anyone else have questions? Feel free to unmute
B25
yourself.
is the bike. Yes, B25 is for the bike. I did see that. Sorry.
Doesn't have to be program specific too. If you just have a question for in general, feel free.
Yeah. Forward. Yes. Hi.
I have a question.
Hi.
So I love Shanti, and Shanti shows up with a lot of personalities. Sometimes he's sassy, sometimes he's, you know, serious business. What is the overall Shanti vibe of this program?
Same. I know that's very generic, but it's the same.
Mix? Is it a mix?
Yeah.
Or is it let's get up Shanti, or is it insanity Shanti?
Hold on, I can't tell you that yet. I'm reading like no. But no, I mean, he can just, no, I can tell you this. It is, I can tell you this. Sorry, I'm reading below. It's both. It's not it's not let's get up. It's not that sassy, but he does, I think he's more serious and more motivating and more focused on the workout. But every so often he's got to throw in that, right? But it's not like, it's more, I don't want to say serious, because Do you know what I'm saying? But it's more focused on that versus does that help? Okay. I'm talking really loud. I'm sorry. My husband always says, just because they're like in a different state, you don't have to scream at the computer. I do that with my parents when I FaceTime because they're in Indiana. He's like, Kristine, they can hear you. You don't need to yell.
Honey, we all got volume buttons. You're good.
Here. Okay. Shanti twerking. He does, I mean, I'm not gonna like, he's got a little bit of sass in there, but I don't, it's nothing like I mean, he wouldn't be Shanti if he didn't bring just a little bit, right? It would be like, who are you? What is going on? But it's not like it's not over the top in any way at all.
A little less Shanti twerky than on his Instagram page, maybe.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Nothing like that.
Now,
Nothing like that.
Have you recorded and done all the workouts? Like,
We're done.
you guys done? Okay.
Yeah, we finished last Monday. Come back from the Success Club trip. Is this being recorded? You're right. So let's just say I did not drink enough water and did not eat a lot of vegetables and all the things. So Monday we did 2 workouts and it was rough because we got back Sunday afternoon. I gave it my all though. But yeah, so everything is filmed. So even the sample workout, if you guys haven't done the sample workout, it's out. I hope you all have Body. So do you guys know where to get the sample workout in the Body blog? Okay. So I think it's on Vimeo too. It's already on Vimeo, but Vimeo doesn't have the music. And because when we were filming, I had a lot of technical difficulties. There was days I was cussing at whatever my setup was. And I was like in tears. My son was home, it was a spring break. And I'm just like, help me, freaking out. So I had a really hard time like listening to the music and enjoying it. And so doing the sample workout, I was like, well, hey, that music's really good. And so the other days I was able to hear it. But if you're able to do it with the music on the platform, it's super fun. And it was really weird because I'm looking and I'm like, oh, we're in the corner. Oh my God, it was so weird. Just like, it was weird. Just to see yourself was crazy. Do you feel like you can do T25 and B25 and not get bored? You do not have time to get bored. You will not be. So like, what do you mean? Elaborate on that. What you mean bored? Oh, we can't hear you.
Oh.
Hi. Oh, there we are.
Oh, you can hear me now?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I meant like how sometimes like with 645, it's like 13 weeks long and you're like, all right, I'm just press and play because I'm supposed to, like, I know this is good for me, but I'm like ready to move on to the next thing. That's kind of what I mean by bored. Not like each workout bored, but like.
No, because, and this is what I like. And it's funny you bring that up because one of my coaches says she has program ADHD. So if because I love Sure Thing, but I love Megan, but after a few weeks, I was like, when's it over? And I never realized I was that kind of person, but it's only 3 weeks. And so you don't really have time to get bored because you're like, what's he bringing tomorrow? Right. And the fact that it's only 25 minutes and not like a 45-minute workout, and like in my head, I'm like, oh my gosh, I get to do T25 again. That was so fun. And then it's like, wait, am I going to do B25 again? Or because I would not recommend guys doing both at the same time. I'm just going to tell you, like when we filmed the last 2, we did doubles. Like I was toast. Like I thought, oh, I can go run after I do T25 because I haven't ran in weeks because I've been doing that, like to keep my running legs. And there was no way. Protect your body and trust that 25 minutes with Shanti is plenty of time. So I hope that helps because I'm with you. I mean, I couldn't do 645. If anyone has the link, do you feel like you can do T20? Okay. Get in and out. Yes. That's what I love about it. It's 3 weeks of T25 and 3 weeks of B25. And they will both be like, that's what's cool too, you guys. And like, it didn't really hit me today. I think Keyshawn said it. Like, you're basically, well, not everybody has the bike. So you have to keep that in mind. But you can you get both programs. So you're getting a 2-for-1. If you have the bike, you're getting access to both of them at the exact same time. My husband, hi. So when customers buy access, they get 2-for-1. Yes. Oh yeah, you're on it, sister. Are there any other questions? I'm trying to think of anything. One thing I just like remember, always listen for him. Like don't try to rush out when he's done. You know, he does it, the cool downs aren't very long. I will tell you that. The cool downs are pretty quick, but that's when he always kind of gives the best message. And I tried to like journal every day and just kind of about my experience, just for myself, if anything, and just kind of thought about what he said, you know, just to kind of take that with you, something you can share in your stories, something you can share in your posts, just to help share the experience, you know, for those that maybe aren't doing it, but want to do it down the road. Anything else?
So excited for this program. I'm
Oh,
I'm loving Autumn's, like the whole super block in general. I feel like it's bringing a whole new energy to my group. And I know Sean T is going to bring the fire. I feel like he always does. Like, he's a trainer that makes me cry. Like you were saying at the end, I feel like every time, especially like a live workout, I'm doing okay. And then he starts talking after and he just hits me in the feels. So I feel like this is going to be such a good, like, kick your butt, get y'all vulnerable, and then speak things into you. And I'm so excited.
that's exactly what it is. Because I think it's like 21 Day Fix is the obviously the perfect, well, I mean, we had for beginners only, but I agree with that. I feel like they're kind of going, I just love that it was 21 Day Fix and then T25 because there's such an emotional connection. Autumn always brings motivation. Like the best thing I've heard her say, and I've been saying it every single day in my stories, is I've tried everything. Have you tried not quitting? And so I thought that was very powerful when she said that in her first day. But there's also, well, that's what's so unique about these trainers. They're all awesome and they're all unique in their own way, but he brings like this emotional connection to you. And I think that if we are able to convey that to other people, then we're going to be able to get them. 3 weeks of unique workouts rather than repeat the 3 weeks with modifications. Trying to figure out, that's a hard question to answer. They're not, it's not like build up. Like, I think, is that how Autumn, because I'm behind on 21 Day Fix because my body was pretty beaten up last week. So I like kind of took 3 or 4 days and just did some yoga. So I'm behind on her workouts.
So
Autumn, it's like the same.
She did it in beginners only. Lacey did it in beginners only, and Autumn is doing it where they like repeat, but it's different. So I was curious if Shanti was doing the same thing.
It's more unique. It's not, you might see the same move, but he does it in a different way. And he does, okay, now like he'll do like, say week 1, he'll do something and it's for a minute. And then he'll add on week 2 is you're doing 2, I can't remember what he calls them, but like you're doing, okay, we're going to do this move for 1 minute. And then week 2, you progress to, we're going to do 2 different moves, 1 minute each. And then week 3, we're going to do 3-minute move because you're like, you know, you're like, oh, I can do this for 1 minute. And you're like, wait, I got to do another move for 1 minute and then another move for 1 minute and then go back and do my, you know, whatever crazy jumping jacks he has you doing. So, and just remember that too. Like you want to make sure you have, I mean, obviously you have your workout room, but make sure, one thing I learned from him too, years ago, and I cannot remember, I read it and I have tried to Google it and it is no longer there. He used to have a blog. I mean, that's how long I've been around. Someone had asked him about what workout shoes he wore. And he says when he does cardio, he goes barefoot. Now, I don't know if he still does that and I should probably ask him. But if you have like rubber floors and it's cardio day, I would do it barefoot unless you have really good shoes that are for like lateral movements. So that's just something to think about. That's what I did. We've got a mat on a carpet. But just make sure you have, because you know, if you guys know him, you know, you're just doing this and this with your feet and then this, and you're going all over the place. So that's just something to keep in mind too. So you're not like, you go, okay, I know another girl that lifts barefoot. I'm so clumsy. I will break my toe. I'll probably break my toe with shoes on, but I probably should lift weights in steel toe boots. But oh my gosh, you do. That's great. Okay. No, I was just talking to a girl that does the same thing. So then you're good. You're good. I just want, like, I was just trying to think as far as protecting your feet and your legs and your drink, recover, recover. If you don't use recover, get it yesterday. Because like I said, 25 minutes and you're toast. You're toast. Do you guys have anything else? I don't know. Is this helpful?
Absolutely. I'm like
Okay,
so
good.
excited for it. This just makes me even more pumped. I mean, I know whenever I do Shanti workout, I'm going to die because he makes you bring it. But I kind of love, like you were saying, like the easiness of it. Now, I do have a question. This just made me think of it. You were saying T25 has been your jam because you can do it in small spaces. Is this similar where I mean, there's some weights, so it's probably harder to rock a hotel room workout?
So just like, just like in, I don't know if you guys have done T25 has alpha, beta, gamma, and there's Sean week. It's like speed. Have you done speed 4.0? Like he cusses at himself because it's so hard. But so I know those workouts don't require weights. So I know that's why they're my go-to when I travel. There are workouts, alpha has no weights at all, but beta and gamma, you incorporate the weights. So Anna's like, I see the nods. So I know that, when the program's released, I know I can't travel and do lower body and upper body and all like, so the first day of the week is the only non-weight workout, the cardio, whatever. You would think, I don't know where I don't know where my workout schedule is. You think I would know the names of the workouts I do? But Mondays is I think it's the only all cardio. So, but every other day has weights, which honestly I liked. I did like that added. And some days you're slowing down, so you're going to lift heavier. And when he, like, how Autumn keeps saying use lighter, and I just finished week 1 today, but she's like, use lighter weights. Like when he says heavy, don't pick heavy. I say like do opposite, because it's like you need a medium weight, and I'm doing like a 12 and I'm dying because you're moving so fast and you're going from one movement to the next. So of course you can drop your weights and switch. But like in the beginning, I was just like, I'm not stopping and I'm not doing anything. And I'm just staying like this. But yeah, I'll just add this to my library of T25 workouts when I travel. Week 1, or I'm sorry, the first workout of every week. 12 is my heavy weight. Mine fluctuates. Like lift more, I could do heavier because it was a lot slower. He moves so fast with them. Yeah, he did. And it's like he did, but this is like that, like by taking your camera phone and putting it on like speed 3.0 or whatever. Okay. Is there anything else?
You killed it, girl. Thank you.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thanks. I'm a little out of practice, but thank you. I'm excited. And one thing I had to write this down myself is start talking about it, and don't be afraid to talk about it all the time. Like I'm like, Kristine, you were in the podcast and you haven't started talking about it yet. There's so much going on though, right? Like we just got back from the Success Club trip, and then you're talking about this, and then, this, and then you're like, what's a super block or what's a body block? So it's like focus. And I like one other thing, and then I will shut up. I like what Tanya said on the call 2 or 3 weeks ago, when she's like, you don't have to do everything. You don't have to do all. Like in my head, I was like, okay, 21-day fix I talked about because it's 21-day fix. T25, I'm obviously going to talk about it. I don't know that I'll talk about job 1. Not that I don't like JJ. I think she's awesome. And not that I don't like the program, but like when she says, I still bring people in for 4-week gut protocol because that's what transformed her and changed her. Don't feel like you have to talk about, and like, I'm not even your coach or your partner. You're probably like, shut up. McKenna's over there going, be quiet.
No, you're doing great.
It made me feel better when she said that like, I don't have to promote. I can do what feels true to me and what I feel like will organically work with people I'm trying to bring in, versus like, okay, tomorrow it's this, and the next day it's this, and then blah, 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 blah. Because, there's enough to just find out, yeah, it's our business. Find out what works for you. But I would say with this, because it's Sean T, everybody knows his name. Like even people, to this day, now that nobody knows who we are because we're Body, but formerly Beach Body, P90X, Sean, or Insanity. Oh yeah. That's the conversation starter to this day sometimes. Like, but yeah, there's something like, you would not believe what's changed. And now he's got this. So just something to keep in mind.
Yeah, and I think like what you're saying is so true. If you're not excited about a program, if you're not excited to wake up, you're not excited to share about it, like we're not going to resonate with all programs, and we're not going to love them all. So you don't have to share about every aspect. If there's a product that you don't love, you don't have to pretend to love it on your stories. Like you might recommend it because someone else could benefit from it, but we don't have to do it all. So I love that. We don't have to do every body block. If we're not excited about it, or it doesn't fit with our whatever we're going for, that's okay. But you can still share like we have so many tools to offer, and I'm not doing this program, but this is something that we are doing. So
Yeah.
yes,
Trying to do
absolutely.
it all stresses me out. Sister Karen, oh my gosh, I get it too. And I've been doing this 2.5 years. Because I felt like they threw a lot of us, let's change our name. Let's change what we call each other. Let's add body blocks. Let's change the platform. Let's add
New product bundles. Yeah.
But I just told my team, I'm just like, take a deep breath. You're not going to know it all. Figure out what you want to figure out. Yeah. So.
Okay, before we ever hop off, Anna is going to take a group picture. So if your videos are off and you want to turn them on for a quick second, here's your chance to do so. Having Anna do it for me because my laptop screen's garbage, so it never turns out good. Look at everyone. Okay, ready? Yay.
Thank you.
Awesome. Kristine, thank you so much. I think
Thank
we're
you.
all more excited.
Good.
Oh, would you mind dropping your Instagram handle below? I know you just talked about not following, but if anyone wants to creep and just see what she's sharing. And
I'm a little, like, maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, but kind of not really, because I just feel like when I go down that rabbit hole, like I will go, oh, what's she doing? Oh, or I will do this, because McKenna and Kenzie are so entertaining with their social media. I mean, I hung out with them, so I know they're fun, but they're also like, they provide value in a very fun way. So when I say don't follow me, I'm just, you're probably gonna be like, that's her Instagram.
no,
So-
you're fun. Your reels are great. I'm the same way. I don't follow a ton of coaches, but every once in a while I'll be like, I wonder what they're doing. And I'll just creep on their page, but I don't follow them.
Yes, exactly. Like when Tanya did the call, I was like, and I was in the podcast with her. I know her personally because we're on the market council here together. So it's not like I don't know her, but I'm like, and I don't want to look at her abs right now. But I was just like, oh, what is she? But her business is completely different than mine, right? Like I was on a plane with her and she was talking about having to send out 34 share cards. Like, this is a couple years back. Right now, it's like probably 64. Anyways, but yeah, I don't want to say I never, like, I do the same thing. I'm like, oh, what are they doing? Or right, and yeah. So, anyways,
Little check-in kind of thing.
exactly, completely. Yeah, I do the same thing.